What's going on, everybody? Going Yooper here, and as you can see, I'm working on my rat racks. I actually got all the frames ready to go. Well, sorry, I had the frames built, and only one of them I have the wire mesh on. The other frames are ready, but I actually am not going to finish this tonight because I didn't get enough of the 1x to do the rails that it slides onto. I was hoping to finish this tonight and pick up my female rats in the morning. Still looking for a male rat, but I have found some really nice looking large female rats, which is cool. So I'm going to go to the hardware store tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to go to Menards. I'm going to pick up the wood I need. I'm going to rush back here. I'm going to hammer it out, and I'm going to zip right back down into town and pick up those female rats. That's my plan anyway. I want to apologize to people. I'm not going to get into what's up or anything, but I haven't been accepting friends on Facebook or Instagram, and I haven't been subscribing to YouTube channels, but that has changed. I have been accepting a bunch of people into the Facebook as well as Instagram, and subscribing to some channels that I wish I would have subscribed to a while ago. I just have my guard up, as you all can probably understand, you know, but I don't like living like that. I don't want anybody to live like that, so I'm not going to live like that. Having an awesome day so far. My wife is actually with my two youngest kids at her sister's hanging out because they're going to go to the beach in the morning. My son Liam is outside the shop skateboarding somewhere around. Better not be far. And I'm going to go in and see if I can get a few of these newborn hatchlings to take their first meal. Again, the Mojave has already taken his first meal, so that's awesome. Let's see if we can get the rest of them to eat. One more thing. I want to give a shout out to the genetic hunters. You know, I was a little weary of these guys in the beginning just because of the situation that was going on, but you know, I love their message, and you know, we need more of that. I've always tried to stay really positive in the community, and I love the positive vibes that I'm getting from them. So Ed, you guys are doing a great job, man. Keep it up. I definitely appreciate your message, and I believe it's 100% true, and you know, I just got a lot of respect for you guys. You guys are doing awesome stuff. I enjoy watching you guys go out and meet new people. I think that's great. I kind of wish I lived in a populated area where I could run around and meet some people as well, but since I can't, it's really cool to see it happening through you guys. So please keep up the great work. If you haven't checked out the Genetic Hunters, you know, go over and give them a subscribe. Let them know Going Yooper sent you over there. Much respect, guys. All right. Let's see if we can get some of these hatchlings to take their first meal. Alright, so first we will try the blue-eyed leucistic, and hopefully she will say, hey, that seems hot and smells good. And your heat pits start picking it up a little bit. There's your tongue flickering. So you're saying, something's telling me I should strike at that and eat it. It's already showing more interest than she was the other day. Just take some time. Sometimes I like it a little lower. And this time, she just grabs it up. And that's all it takes. Frozen thawed, first meal. And we'll give it a little bit of wiggle. She didn't wrap it up, but that's okay. And she should swallow it down. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, next up is the Pastavi. And we'll just do the same thing. Nice warm mouth, so it feels that there's some temperature there. The heat pits will pick it up, and tongue will start flickering to taste the air and get a good smell. And if all goes, there goes the tongue. Not tucking her head away as if she's afraid. Little movements, not lots of movements, little movements. She's showing signs that she might not take, but we will see. Let her tongue come out. patience. That's all it takes, some patience. And sometimes having it below them, they feel more confident striking below than above. And just simulate a little bit of movement around. And when she feels comfortable, she will strike, and she might not, but I think she's going to. She's showing me all the signs that she's interested. She's following it around. She wants to see what it is. And my hand above her, though, could make her a little bit nervous. She's showing signs like she might want to, though. She has a little bit of signs that she's a little nervous. And that's fine. A lot of people start their snakes out on live. I start out with mouse fuzzies, mouse hoppers, to give them their first meal. And then I try to move them right up to rat pups, small rat pups, as soon as possible. There's a chance that this mouse has cooled off a little bit, so I'll go ahead and dip it into the warm water. Just let it sit in there for a couple seconds, but that posture she's showing is a really good sign. So, not going to give up on her yet. Just warmed it up a little bit. And her heat pits are going to take over and say, hey, what's supposed to do? Now that could be bad. Alright, well, I'm not going to stress her out, because that's very important. You don't stress her out. We will come back to her. Alright, got the Mojave Bumblebee here. Now I'm not sure how this one's going to go, because she is very timid. So this might take a few tries before she takes her first meal, but look at the heat. Her tongue will start flickering. There goes her tongue. Ooh, a little movement and a strike. That's good. She was a little afraid. You can tell it didn't hurt her or anything, though, so she might be more interested, or it might have scared her off. We'll just give her a C. She feels the heat and she tastes it. And that was more of a defensive strike than a feeding response strike. So, you know, there is a big difference. If it was a feeding response, she would have held on to it. Defensive is strike and pull away. And we got one escaping over here, so nope, sweetheart, you gotta stay in your pen. Put the lid on you over here. Sorry about that, everybody. And slow movements. Let's see if we can get her to take another strike, and maybe it'll be a feeding response this time. And she's doing the typical hide her head, and once they start hiding their head, you're pretty sure that she isn't going to take that meal. So we will try her again tomorrow. If she don't eat, anyone who doesn't take a meal, we will try the next day until they do. And it doesn't have to be rushed or forced. They can go a pretty good long time without taking a meal after their first shed. They do survive on their yolk that they absorb. And keep in mind, when you have a clutch of eggs hatch out, it's really important to let them come out of that egg on their own so that they have time to absorb all that yolk, because that is what they live on for a good period of time. And I'm being patient. Just being patient and giving her a chance to kind of see if that's what she wants to do. And she's not hiding too much, so that's kind of good, but she is definitely weary of it. But seeing that strike does tell me, okay, she's willing to engage instead of just hide away, which is a good thing. And I don't think that she's going to take a meal this time, and that's okay. That's okay. So far I have two of the 6 eaten. We'll go ahead and pull out another one. And I'm going to warm up for a few seconds. I'm going to move this girl out of the way. And we will pull out this lesser. Now this lesser has me perplexed. Being colorblind, and again, you know, I've been doing this for a while, but I am by no means a professional. You know, even the big guys have a hard time telling what certain stuff is, and me so even a little bit more being colorblind. So I think this lesser might have pastel in it. I could be wrong. Okay, she's not wasting any time. Nice. Alright. Alright, so far we got 3 that are taking a meal. Now, I'm going to wait and see if she swallows that. I'm not going to move her because I don't want to take any chances. As I bump her bin. I'm going to carefully stick her over on the side though. And a little bit of movement's okay, because she's going to think that that mouse is just moving around and that it's still alive. Okay, and the last one I have to get to eat is the pastel. And this pastel is a bit of a scaredy cat, sort of. And this mouse is a little bit warm, but I'm going to put it in the warm water here for a couple seconds just to get it a little extra warm. There we go. And you want to be careful putting these frozen thawed. When they're this small and you put these frozen thaws and thawed in too hot of water or for too long, they can bust open pretty easily, and you really don't want that because it's pretty gross. Let's see what this girl does. Hopefully she will sense the heat and that tongue will kind of come out, and she will decide to take a meal. And so far, there goes the tongue. Now she's tasting the air. She's like, hey, what is that? Something's telling me that I should bite that and eat that. And ideally, you want them to bite and wrap up. Now I've noticed the blue-eyed cystic has let her mouse go. And the lesser's already starting to swallow hers. So that's a good sign. Come on, sweetheart. Let's see if you're tracking it, but I don't want you to wrap it and stick it in the water. I have a tendency to do that. And I can tell she went to the bathroom in her bin already, which is good. Oh, a strike and a miss, but that was not a defensive strike. That was a feeding response strike. So that is good. That is a really good sign. Come on. Hopefully she takes another go. Oh, jeez, I hope I didn't mess that up. See, if I was holding it in a bad position for her, she might not take it now. Well, I've noticed that a lot too when you're first feeding these things, when they're taking their first meals. If they miss on that first strike, they get hesitant about going for it again. And you want to be careful you don't tap the sides either and make too much kind of vibration or noise. That seems to start them off as well. Like I just did there. And she's tracking, so that's telling me that she's interested. And I think I have scared her off. So I'm going to give her a few minutes. And this lesser is swallowing down her first meal. Good job, sweetheart. Good job. Awesome. Yeah, so you can get your snakes started on frozen thawed. They don't always have to be live, and you know, again, I didn't invent this, but they will take frozen thawed if it's handed to them correctly into a way that they're comfortable with it. And some will take a little bit more time than others. But I did notice that the blue-eyed leucistic took hers, and she did not wrap it as you've seen, and she has let it go, so I might have to wait another day or so to try and feed her. So we definitely got 2 definitely eating, and I'm going to try a little bit longer. But I want to thank you all for watching my videos. I hope this was had some sort of interesting stuff to it. Again, I wasn't trying to bring anybody down with that stuff earlier. I was just trying to tell you how I feel, and I've been worried about, you know, subscribing to certain channels or accepting different friends on Facebook and Instagram, and I don't want to live like that. I don't want anybody else to live like that. So I will be accepting all friends again. I already have, and I'm catching up on videos as well as subscribing to new channels. And I hope you all have an awesome day. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, let you know I upload a video, and as always, I love you all. See me, bye.